Hello, people of the internet. I am James Phoenix, and this is the Loggies. No, actually, what I should have done for that one was, not that one.
There you go.
Ambient crowd noise. Low 20, 17, Loggy Awards. All right. So, for those of you who might not have been here last year, we are just past the 1-year anniversary of this channel, by the way.
Indeed.
So, 1 year of great things going on, and only one of our videos getting hit with anything. So, props on that.
It's a new day.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes. I've learned a lesson because I just saw when I came in today. WWE has now monetized the video where I showed the footage of that Paige Sasha incident from the live show.
I suppose that's okay. Well,
Okay.
it's not like we have enough views to be making any money on it anyway, so it's not like they're making any money on it.
This is true.
Hey, if people want to monetize shit, I'm cool with that because we're not.
Pretty much. All right. So, for those of you who weren't here last year, we do these annual wrestling awards every year in January. We started last year with the 2016 Loggies. They're on the channel. You can go watch them. And we're doing it again this year. Of course, we now have 4 as opposed to 3, so more awards.
Yeah.
All right. With me is the entire
all
league.
thank me, right?
Yes, with me is the entire league, which hasn't happened a lot very recently. Please welcome Jeff, John, and Tiff, all here.
What's up?
Hello.
Yo.
The wrestling contingent of the league.
Pretty much. You know, Jeff and I have images for our awards, but that was not required, so the other two do not. So, effectively, these awards are going to be in all categories of professional wrestling. They are not limited to WWE, but most of them will probably be WWE.
Oh, damn. Oh, okay. Because at the top it said WWE Fantasy Log Awards. So,
Well, it is our WWE Fantasy Log, but we cover other shit in news, so awards are allowed too.
okay.
You can put Kenny Omega. It's okay.
I'm going to have a much better match of the year than I had.
Which is that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you can make modifications on the fly based on that revelation if you like.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, there's not much I have to change, but
Yeah, that's fine. But anyway, we have awards for all aspects of professional wrestling, from matches to the wrestlers themselves to all kinds of other things that might have happened. Some of them WWE specific, some not. And so we will go ahead and basically what will happen is I will introduce an award, and then I'm just going to go from left to right on my screen for the sake of ease. So in that case, the order is going to go Jeff, John, Tiff, and then I will
first. Okay.
And then I will go last on each award. That way, when we get to the very end, I can take us directly into our outro.
That's
For
fair.
those of you watching, just be aware that I might not have so many selections as everybody else.
Yeah, because Tiff hasn't seen as much wrestling as the rest of us, even though she is here each week for the show for the most part. She won't not have as many awards as the rest of us. But you can feel free to hitch onto somebody else's award if you like it, so that's fine.
As she pointed out to me before we went live, she doesn't really watch the pay-per-views, so the pay-per-view one's kind of, she has nothing.
Yep. That's
or
fine.
the networks. I don't have that one either.
Yeah, she doesn't
Also
have a
fine.
network. Speaking of which, over to John, because I have nothing for worst network show. Because I didn't watch enough network shows to actually have a worst. I meant to, but I just never got around to watching it because I've been just super busy this year.
I guarantee you watched more than I did.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Probably.
I mean, like, literally, the only things I really watched on a consistent basis on the network were pay-per-views and Table for Three. That was about it.
Fair enough. Well, that being the case, yes, let's go ahead.
So I guess it's over to Jim because Tiff doesn't have the network.
Well, John, did you have one or?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to jump right to me for the first award, so I'll get to start this. Let me go to my page. So the worst, I have to do this purely based on how things have progressed. And I hate to do this because there's no reason for this, and yet it is.
Okay.
It's 205 Live.
Wow, really? That's worse than the Edge and Christian show of awesomeness?
They need to be new episodes of that this year.
Yeah, they did. They did season 2 at the beginning of the year.
I didn't watch it.
Okay, fair enough. Neither did I.
I went 205 Live purely because it was going nowhere. Like to the point that WWE recently sent out a survey asking why aren't you watching this show? It was not good. The cruiserweights were just not being given a lot of chance to get over. They started off strong. They had a lot of people that we were into. Jack Gallagher was out there. Kendrick was doing a good job. TJP. They had good stuff, and then it kind of just fell off a cliff for the longest time. And argue with him as you may, Enzo saved the show.
Yes, he did.
So up until the point when Enzo won the cruiserweight title back around September or so, 205 Live was just in the shitter for the entire year. To the point, like I said, I mean, when it first came out, I was watching it every week, and then I stopped watching it. And it's like this, and I watched a few at the beginning of the year, and it's just like, no, it's not working. It's just they weren't inspiring me to watch it, and that's unfortunate.
I can tell you exactly why too.
Why?
Because it's the reason why when Enzo became the champion and started carrying 205 Live, why 205 Live became relevant. It's because 205 Live was built around a bunch of superstars that nobody knew, nobody was invested in, and nobody gave a shit about. Everyone knew Enzo. Everyone cared about Enzo. Everyone was invested in Enzo and gave a shit about him. And when he went to 205 Live, all of a sudden, the show was now built around someone that was established. The problem that they had from the word go was that they were hoping that the new talent and their straight wrestling ability was going to be enough to carry the show and get people invested. And as much as we on this show advocate good wrestling, the fact of the matter is, if you want a crowd, especially a somewhat casual crowd, and there was some non-casual people, and those people cared, but if you want a WWE crowd to get behind superstars, you can't rely on just their skill. You have to have a storyline. You have to build characters and get people invested in those characters, or they just won't care. And that's what happened to 205 Live.
Marcus, can I give you a little piece of advice?
Hmm?
Can I suggest you either relocate your chair, stop slouching, or adjust where your image box is, because half your face has been behind your image box through that entire speech.
Sorry. But yeah, that's why, unfortunately, you have to, because you have to give the superstars a good storyline, B, good characters, and C, enough time to build those characters to get people to care about them. But if there's nobody in the division that anybody cares about, no one's going to care about the other people in the division. You need someone that they care about for the other people to play against, so they care about it. Like, look at Cedric Alexander, because he's played against Neville. He's playing against Enzo. He's playing against people that are established that the crowd cares about. People care about Cedric Alexander.
It's true. By the way, just a random check between the shows. Are the logos the right way to everybody else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Cool. So yes, I give it to 205 Live appeal because unfortunately I felt like they had a great concept when they started, and they had nowhere to go with it, and it fell off a cliff until they put Enzo over there and started, established the guys to really get. Yeah, and it's like Gallagher established the character, Kendrick, and Drew Gulak doing a good job. They gave some characters over there. So
yeah.
Props to them for doing a great job with that and getting it back together now. But it shit for so much of the year. I mean, even Neville, who was an amazing cruiserweight champion that everybody loved, couldn't get that show over. And it's unfortunate, but that's how it was. So I have to give it to 205 for, unfortunately, that situation. Also for being one of the only shows I watched on the network. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like when Austin Aries went to 205 Live, all of a sudden people gave a shit because of Austin Aries, and then they fucked him over.
Yeah.
And then people stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, that too. All right, so we're going to bring it back around to Jeff. We're going to go with the best WWE Network show.
Right, where's my mouse cursor? Okay. So my favorite network show, the one I think is the best, BAM! I love this show. It never fails to be a great show. I mean, yeah, once in a while there's some shows that aren't that good, but the show as a whole is never bad, if that makes sense. It's just like some guests I just don't care about. Sometimes it gets a little bit boring with some stories, but I love hearing the stories, behind the scenes stuff. especially from like a lot of legends after the fact. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this and this happened, and no one knows about this, and it's kind of cool, especially when you get people like like the Click together and they get to talk like National Hall and stuff. You get to hear the old drunk war stories and shit. It's a lot of fun.
Fair enough. Good choice.
Anyone else agree with me?
I don't think I saw any from this year, but I really did like the show when I saw it.
Yeah, it is an excellent show. I'm not sure when the last time I watched one of those was either.
Fair enough.
John, you got a network show?
No, I didn't. The only thing I saw on the network this year was Royal Rumble.
Tiff, you got a network show?
No.
Back around to me then.
Because remember, I don't have the network, so I don't have any.
That's fair enough.
Reference on there.
All right, back over to me then. For what I think was the best WWE Network show, I really enjoyed this. It's WWE Story Time.
That is a decent show.
Are we doing best or worst?
This is best.
And we already did worst.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going for the bottom of the list, and we're working our way up.
Okay.
Yeah, WWE Storytime is a great show. Where they take the concept of, like you mentioned, the veterans sitting around telling war stories, as it were. And they basically, but these are more humorous stories, and they animate them.
Yeah.
They basically hear the story, and then the animators go through and animate what they're hearing, and it's hilarious. The cartoons are always a lot of fun, and it works out that they're not that long. So you get 4 or 5 of them to an episode, and you get a little variety of the different animation things, so it doesn't wear thin on you. It's almost like a Looney Tune format, and it's great.
Yeah. Just little short stories. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable that they release them every so often. They're a lot of fun, and so.
Looney.
92 adventures, come and join the fun. And now our song is done. Anyway, completely unrelated note. I don't think a date's been put out yet. I think it might be about a year away. Animaniacs is coming back. It's going to be on Hulu.
Hula Hoop?
Yeah. No, Hulu.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have that. You're in Canada. You don't know what that is.
Really?
I've heard of it, but hey.
Of course,
the year after. Jeez.
Of course, the year after I stopped my Hulu subscription, like Animaniacs is coming back. It's like, fuck you.
There you go. But yeah, story time. Lots of great stories on there. Just of things happening on the road, funny incidences, all kinds of stuff like that. From Jake the Snake Roberts talking about the airport guys fighting his snake to just all kinds of other fun things. So great stuff going on there.
Sick of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Kind of. All right, so the next award on our list is going to be the What the Fuck of the Year, speaking of which, and we're going to throw that over to Jeff.
You knew that was coming, John.
Yeah, I was just thinking the one where I think they somebody left Farouk out in the snow. I think it was like Coachman or somebody.
Yeah, that's something Coach would do.
No, it was Tilo.
Oh, it was Tilo.
Holla, holla, holla.
Because Tilo was driving with the APA, and they stopped the car to get out and take a leak, and Tilo thought that Farouk was back at the car, but he wasn't. And Bradshaw said, no, no. He's like, no, Ron's not in the car. He's like, yeah, don't screw with me. We got to get going.
My what the fuck moment did make me go, what the fuck. There you go. And for people who don't know what that is Randy Orton giving his soul to Bray Wyatt. It's Orton willingly giving up his rightful main event slot at WrestleMania after winning the Royal Rumble, which, what the fuck? You don't do that. And it's even more what the fuck when they go through a whole fucking tournament to determine a new number 1 contender, only for him to turn around and say, nope, I want it back. It's like, what? Oh, so bad. Like, what Orton did was, in the overall grand feud against Bray Wyatt, was clever. That was fucking stupid.
When you turned around and tried to burn down the house where Sister Abigail was, or what? Yeah,
that was clever, trying to get in Bray's good graces, to get the keys to the kingdom, to find Sister Abigail's body, the source of his power, to get rid of his power so he can defeat Bray Wyatt. Like,
source of his power, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, that if they'd have done it right, would have kind of semi-legitimized Bray Wyatt again. You know, saying that he's such a threat and he's so powerful that even Randy Orton can't take him on. But Randy Orton, being the Viper and being trained by the Cerebral Assassin, is smart enough to go after the source of his power to make him, you know, a mortal man, so to speak, to face him. That's a great story, and it's very, very clever. And then they pull this shit. So yeah, that's my what the fuck of the year.
Fair enough. Over to John.
All right, my WTF moment for the year was first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match where James Ellsworth wins. It doesn't say that, but the picture is him pulling down the briefcase for the women's Money. It's like, you could have done that so many different ways, all of which would have been better than what they actually did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I thought what they were gonna do was like maybe have him like pick Carmella up and like boost her. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
kind of bad, but okay, fair enough. She's still climbing up and getting it herself. No, he fucking climbs up, gets it, and hands it to him.
Yeah. Oh.
So you had a man win the first ever women's Money in the Bank.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was bad.
Yep. Yeah.
Turn around and have a second one, and she goes and wins it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how it should have gone. See what they did with Ellsworth in that one. That was fine. That was 10 times better than what they did at the pay-per-view.
Didn't they?
What's that?
Tied him to a pole, didn't they?
No, they banned him from ringside, and he came back anyway and got a chair in the back for his troubles because Becky Lynch was like, "Fuck you."
But yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was worse shit. I agree.
Yeah.
Host?
Right. Yep, let's go over to Tiff if she has one. Nope. All right, over to me. And this one was really a no-brainer for me.
Okay.
Because in terms of straight what the fuck, there is... Okay, what the fuck, that was a stupid... There is, what the fuck, Ellsworth, you ruined the concept. There is, oh, what the fuck, you ruined this story. Then there is just sheer straight up, what the fuck?
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
That is a good choice.
Like, in a million years, who would have thought this would be a thing?
Yeah.
The thing is, it would have worked if they hadn't completely bailed at the 11th hour and fucked it all to hell.
It would have worked if he wasn't like jobbing to somebody the week before this happened. Or it was like 2 weeks before he was an utter jobber, and then like, number one contender.
Give him credit though. It was like a month he did win a number one contenders battle royal like a few weeks before.
I know, but like they could if they had like built it, it wouldn't have been as bad. Like even knowing that why they did it, and it's just like okay, fine, but it felt like a switch, like oh champ. You're like no.
Yeah, well, despite the fact that as soon as he hit SmackDown, he basically didn't lose a match. It just kind of skyrocketed, took everybody out, got the number one contendership, and got the title. It was kind of quick because he literally hit SmackDown, won a number one contendership that week. Next week went on to win the title. You're like, wait, what? like you said, if they had built it up like maybe over a full month or something and had him build up to he's beating people after beating people after beating people and making him pushing him like, oh, maybe he can win the title. But no, he wins one match and it's like now he's going to be champion. You're like,
I haven't seen him for the longest time and everything before now, and it's just like I didn't even know he was still with the company, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, there he is.
Well, that was the thing. 3MB dissolved. He left the company for a while. Then he came back, and he was running the Man of Peace gimmick for like a few months. Then he disappeared again. Then he came back in this.
No, he ran the Man of Peace, decided not to do that, and joined Rusev on Raw up until they got drafted to SmackDown.
That's right.
And don't forget when he came back as the Man of Peace, he was curiously bigger.
I seen him now compared to like what he was before. Like before he just like before I noticed that he disappeared, it was like, okay, well he was like seriously built. And I was like, did he take steroids? Like what happened?
Yes, he did.
He's like out of the house now.
Yeah, no, because he and Rusev were at some Raw pay-per-view. That was the last thing they did, and then like immediately after that, they had the draft, and Mahal was drafted to SmackDown.
And it's not a draft; it's a superstar shakeup.
Yeah, excuse me, superstar shakeup. Then a few weeks later, Mahal just kind of walks in, and you're like, did he juice? Because literally a few weeks before on that Raw pay-per-view, he looked like Jinder Mahal, and then he came in looking like that, and you're like, And you know it's bad, and you know it's true when Ryback calls your ass out on juicing.
Yeah.
He's like, I know juicing.
Because Ryback on his little podcast was like, no, he's juicing. Look at it. No, yeah, no. He's like, I know that shit. No, he's using that shit.
Yep. All right.
Because he's like, look at the dude's tits. You don't get tits like that if you don't juice. Like,
Yeah.
You got a point, Ryback.
It's true. It's true. All right. So we're going to go on to our next award, and that is the OMG of the year.
Absolutely.
And we're going to start off with Jeff.
That's my OMG of the year.
Whoa.
Who the hell saw that coming?
An upside down Shane? What the hell?
Exactly. It's Shane hitting a shooting star press on AJ at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I give it that.
Because the match was good, and then he went up top. I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something crazy, and then he did a shooting star. I'm like, is he trying to kill himself? And he hit it flush. No, he hit it flush. I was like, wow, that's impressive. He might have missed AJ. I don't remember if AJ moved out of the way, but he still was a flush shooting star, and he executed it like perfectly, which is more than
like
a lot of superstars who tried it.
Always done it. It's like he never stopped doing it, right?
Yeah.
He didn't Brock it.
No, he didn't Brock it.
But you're shocked that he pulled off a shooting star press. I remind you, this man did an elbow drop off of like a 50-foot Titantron.
Yeah, but doing an elbow drop and doing a shooting star press are two different things. You can't kill yourself off of an elbow drop unless you're elbow dropping onto a spike.
No, you can, because the elbow drop is making the large assumption that your elbow is going to hit the ground first.
True, but it's far harder to kill yourself off of an elbow drop than it is off of something that could land you on your head and snap your neck.
Yeah, but still, I mean, falling from that height at any point will cause severe damage, if not kill you, regardless of what part of you hits the ground first.
I also put to you, an elbow drop doesn't cause a concussion if you slightly fuck it up.
No, but like I said, he is going down in this position, which means his head could easily hit something on the way down. Your head can strike shit on the way. Your head can strike shit on the way down, and it doesn't really matter which part of you actually hits the ground first.
That was still an impressive feat, though.
I'm just saying, years ago when it happened, I don't think they were concerned about the part where Owen's body hit the mat.
Oh, damn, dude. Yeah, but
I think they were concerned about when his skull smashed into the fucking turnbuckle.
Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
But no, I mean, it's impressive because A, he hadn't wrestled in 15, 20 years. Number two, he's not a quote-unquote wrestler. And number three, he's mid-40s, and he's doing that? And he didn't fuck it up? That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? Hey,
Brock was how old when he, concussed himself?
Yes, but Brock concussed himself not due to his age or any inability to do the move. He concussed himself because he did the move while his weight was completely differently distributed than the last time he'd done the move.
That's WWE's fault because they insisted he do it.
I know that.
But yes, that's my OMG because it did make me go, oh my God.
Fair enough. Moving along. John.
All right, for mine, it was a short list, but I had an alternate, but it had to go to the Usos and the New Day when one of the Usos cut that line with the X-rated like your boy Xavier Woods. I didn't think he'd go there, and he just did it, and they cut it out of the replay, which makes you know he said it, and I was like, oh, he said that.
What was that?
Fired the next day?
For those of us who did not hear it or did not see it, what was that?
Allow me.
Okay.
Effectively, what happened here? I'm sure Tiff, you recall the controversy where an adult video of Paige featuring Xavier Woods and former Raw general manager Brad Maddox came out.
Not necessarily, no. But
well,
anyway.
there was an adult tape of Paige with Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox, and it hit the internet along with some pictures of Paige, and it was a whole big to-do. Well, anyway, being obviously Xavier was in that tape, there was a point on SmackDown at which the New Day was challenging the Usos to a rap battle. And they even brought in some rapper I've never heard of to referee the thing. But anyway, there was a point where one of the Usos proceeded to pull out a line in the rap about, something to the general effect of, let's not get X-rated like your boy Xavier Woods, effectively making an on-air reference to the aforementioned adult video on a PG program.
Oh, boy.
And as John mentioned, it was edited out of subsequent replays and out of the YouTube video of that particular segment. So yeah, I don't think they ran that by. I don't think they ran that by the guys in the back first.
They didn't run 80% of that by the people in the back because, as your boy Xavier Woods pointed out, they were given free reign to pretty much do what they wanted to do for the rap battle. So that entire thing was pretty much a shoot promo.
Ah, okay.
So literally, whichever Uso said that actually came up with that and just straight said it and told nobody he was going to say it. So every reaction you see out there, like from his brother to the New Day to the other rappers, were legitimate because no one expected him to say it. It's like, wait, what? Did you just say that?
Now I'm really hoping that somewhere out there on YouTube is a video where that segment has happened. Uso drops that line, and then it cuts to the Undertaker guy.
Yes.
Don't do that when I have my mouth full of drink.
Good times. But yes, that's an excellent choice, John.
Well done. As one fan on the comments of that video pointed out, WWE was kind of stupid for cutting that because, as we know, WWE is kind of hurting for actual WWE Universe reaction to their product in a live setting, and that was the biggest pop of the night, and they edited it out.
Yep.
Good job, WWE. You're now editing out the pops that you need.
Pretty much. Although, for that rap battle, let us give credit where credit is due. New Day did, during that same rap battle, come up with a great line about Jimmy Uso only being over because of Naomi. That was also a good line.
Yeah.
See, now that kind of makes me wonder if the dribble that the Usos have been doing lately, the really shitty stuff, if that wasn't written for them, knowing that the rap battle stuff they wrote themselves, I'm like, why are they saying shit like that? That would get, they're over, but that would get them more over. Instead of the shit they're saying, like, no, it's the welcome to the Uso penitentiary. It's like, no.
Yep.
No.
Did I miss something when you said they were over?
Wow. No, they are over. Since they started doing the more face stuff, and they're basically face now, they've been getting more over.
They have been getting more over.
Yeah.
Insert Finn Balor tweet here.
Yes,
they're not as over as Finn Balor, but they're getting over.
Okay, that's not one. Okay, I might have fallen asleep for a second there because
we lost him. What happened?
I'm back now. Ha ha ha! Very funny, Jim.
I didn't mean literally. I meant in terms of the conversation. Where did we lose you? We'll get you back up.
We were talking about Naomi and the Usos, and then you said they were over, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't hear that come up in the conversation.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
because we were talking about the rap battle and everything, and I was like, okay, well, I never heard that Naomi and the Usos were over, so.
No, the Usos are over.
No, hold on. No, here's it.
Yeah, I get it now.
Hold on. No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
We're not talking about over in terms of relationship being over. We're talking about over in terms of being popular with the fans. Different definition of the word over.
Yeah. Moving on.
Sure, why not?
Moving on.
All right, I guess that moves it to me. And my, Tiff, did you have what the fuck? Did you have that in OMG?
AJ Styles doing a second rope, a Styles clash from one single brother to the other.
Yeah, that was actually what. That's a good one.
Awesome.
That's a good choice.
By the way, as I recently found out, you can thank Chris Jericho for that.
Hmm?
Chris Jericho's the one that got the Styles Clash unbanned in the WWE.
Oh yeah,
That's true. I have heard that. Fair enough. Oh yeah, that was a good. All right, moving over to me. I went a little more broad.
Okay.
With mine. What's the picture? Excuse me. Just because it was hard to pick just one.
So what, you get like 10?
What's that?
So you get like 10?
No. No. It was
okay, 5.
No, because it was gonna be all together.
18.
No.
You went further.
No.
Oh well, 50 then. You said you went broad. You didn't say how broad.
She has a point. Oh, you broke Jim. You broke the host. Good job.
I have my biggest surprise for next year.
Well, if you gave me one job to do today, at least I've done it. I did my job.
Did we give you a job?
Well,
I
this
broke
is
the host. Wasn't that on the to-do list?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
well, this is
Anyway.
the OMG moment of the year.
Excuse me.
But no. I just want to pick one part of it. So for my my OMG, the entirety of this match.
Uh-huh.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah.
The entirety of this match, because this match ranged from first of all, it's a clusterfuck of people, and it's a 3-on-1 handicap. Then Roman gets the mub, so now Kurt's in the fucking match. Then we're gonna actually have the match. Then we're gonna have Kurt fucks up and knocks himself out and has to get taken away. Then we're killing time in the ring. Braun Strowman gets buried under chairs. Then he gets up. Then he gets thrown in a fucking ambulance.
Yeah, thrown in a garbage truck.
Garbage truck, sorry, in a garbage truck.
You want to get technical?
Just buried under everything about that match was an OMG, and then Kurt comes back out and he's destroying people, and just that entire match was just an oh my god.
Yeah, Kurt was looking good. I have to admit.
I mean,
It's everything in that match between the Kurt situations to two simultaneous table spots from Ambrose and Rollins. To, like I said, Braun buried under the chairs, to then Braun getting up from the chairs and Kane shot, and then triple teaming. Braun gets, then Braun gets thrown in the garbage truck and murdered, and just oh my god, that match! Like I didn't even know what was going on.
I do have to say the one part of that match that made me go, okay, this is weird, is the very beginning when the Shield came out and Kurt walks out behind them and he's got a shit-eating grin on his face. I'm like, okay, you're supposed to be Shield Kurt. You're in like black fucking like Kevlar vest with gloves with a shit-eating grin. I'm like, since when did the Shield grin?
He's marking out.
He was totally marking out.
Well, I don't know about grin, but there is some extent of it. I mean, we all know Roman Reigns' default facial expression is a smirk.
Yeah, but not a shit-eating grin, so.
Yeah,
no.
It's not a Rocky Maivia shit-eating grin.
No, that's true. But hey, why not? But yeah, that match.
Okay, yeah,
match.
that's 1, so what's the other 49?
Very funny. Anyway. Moving along.
You said you had multiple choices.
I said, and I'm going to say, because there were like 3 or 4 OMG moments within that match, was my point.
Fair enough.
Over to Jeff for our next award, and that's going to be the biggest surprise of the year.
There's really only one choice. Especially if you know me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. It has to be. Who the hell didn't mark out when you just heard boom, 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 boom.
It's true.
I was like, oh shit, they're actually here. What? And then they go on to win the titles. I'm like, the fuck just happened?
The WTF and an OMG moment as well.
It is. It's all of the above. That's why it's the biggest surprise of the year, because like people suspected, but no one saw it coming. Because the Hardy Boys actually did a pretty good job of like, making it seem like they weren't actually going to be at WrestleMania, despite how close they were going to be to WrestleMania.
Yeah. They blatantly had their big fucking, a Hardy broken pre-show at the bar, or whatever thing they were doing, like right up the street.
Yep, they had their little tailgate, WrestleMania tailgate party.
Yep.
And they had just wrestled, was it ROH, I think, like the night before for those tag titles?
Yes, they did.
People were like, well, they just wrestled. They're not going to do it 2 days in a row. And boom, they hit WrestleMania and win the WWE tag titles. People were like, what?
They just had a ladder match. They wouldn't have 2.
They're the Hardy Boys. They'd have 5. Let's be honest here. But yeah, that is my biggest surprise of the year, because good Lord. Really? I'm the only one who thought that. Okay.
It was a good surprise.
It was a great surprise.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know.
And I have to say, WWE also did a really great job with the New Day, or the New Day did a really great job when they came out, because everyone thought New Day was going to put themselves in the match. So no one thought Hardys until it was apparent New Day wasn't going to put themselves in the match. And there, people were like, "Oh shit, are the Hardys actually going to come out?" And then their music hit, and everyone lost their shit.
Pretty much.
So yeah, kudos to WWE and the Hardy Boys for pulling this off. Jericho would be proud.
Yes, he would. All right, let me flip the thing over here real quick. And Sean, how about yours?
Oh man, speaking of Jericho, I had to go with Jericho doing a program with NJPW, because I like when they announced it, I was like, "Wait, that Jericho?" And that just surprised me
that Jericho
that they did that, and I was like, "That's awesome!" And that apparently it was cool that he did that. Which he wasn't under contract, then, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But it was cool that he's like, "No, I let Vince know." Vince is like, "Okay." I was like, "That's a really good surprise. I like that."
That was a good surprise.
So Jericho showing up and chewing out Kenny Omega.
Yep. Eating the hell out of him.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right, Tiff.
Fun fact: he dedicated that match to Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero.
He did.
And then people bitched at him about it on social media, as they do, and Jericho told them all to fuck off.
He did.
Like, literally told them to fuck off.
Admittedly, it's a weird choice, but yeah, I understand why he did it. But
he said,
parts of it where it's like,
Yeah, he said the shit that happened was bad and tragic, and I don't approve of it. But I have my reasons for dedicating this match to them. Fuck the hell off. I was like, okay, Jericho.
Yep. Tiff, do you have a surprise?
Big surprise? Nope.
Nope, no surprise? Okay. Moving on to me. Boop. All right, so...
I'm sure that wasn't a big surprise to anybody, though, that I didn't have one.
Oh! Nice. Bazinga. Why not Bazinga?
Yeah.
I'll go for it. Anyway. So let's go ahead and do this. My biggest surprise, resurrecting WCW pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And just for the segment, I actually grabbed 2. Because I really didn't see that coming. Like, we're going to resurrect WCW pay-per-views, one on NXT, one as a house show. I'm like, that surprises me. Like, I get that, hey, there's a good catalog there you could use. It's a good idea if done right, but, like, really? Like, you know you've owned this shit for, like, 25 years. Like, now's the time we're going to do this. All right, why not?
It's been so long, WWE can make it their own.
Pretty much. And props to them, because I have not seen either of these events, but my understanding is that they were good.
Am I the only one who thinks that Goldust needs to finish his career as the natural Dustin Rhodes?
He's a natural. Just comes naturally. Anyway. All right, moving along to the next award. The next award is going to be the worst pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm going to stop you guys right now and don't come to me for pay-per-views best or worst because I don't have one whatsoever.
Understood.
Right. So my worst pay-per-view of 2017. There you go. Was such a shit pay-per-view. And it's because it didn't feel like a Royal Rumble because there was literally no surprises. And the reason for it are these two men right here on the end because that's what they were hoping would be the big surprise for the Royal Rumble and would carry the Rumble is having those two men in the Rumble like for the first time in like ever. For the first time in so long. But it's like, no, Royal Rumble is supposed to be the night of surprises. It's supposed to be you're supposed to have some people that you just don't see coming and they just appear and you're like, what the fuck? And they had nothing. There was literally no surprises. This is also the Rumble where they thought putting Roman at number 30 was going to get him over.
Yeah.
So, fuck that Rumble.
Why would they have 3 women in the picture, too?
Well, it's not the actual Rumble participants. It's just the pay-per-view promo poster.
Okay.
I was going to just put out the look at Dean Ambrose's face on the right behind Brock, by the way.
Yeah.
Just
looks like it could be from a scary movie poster.
Yeah, that dude has seen some shit.
Yeah, the other thing, too, about fuck this pay-per-view, fuck this poster. Because,
like Chucky.
You see where AJ Styles is?
Yeah.
Guess what he was at the time of the Royal Rumble?
One.
He was the WWE champion. And as AJ pointed out, what the fuck, WWE? You're going to put your champion in the fucking back?
Yep.
So, yeah, fuck that pay-per-view all to hell.
Yep. Okay. John.
All right.
Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Now, I didn't see all of this one. So I don't know if it counts, but I went with Great Balls of Fire, mostly because that logo and just some of those awful pictures that were just hilarious.
That's fair.
You see, like, or it's just Sasha Banks' head and it just says "eat balls," and you're just like, somebody didn't think a lot of this stuff through, did they?
No, they did not.
Well, I also love that it came out that WWE only told the Raw superstars about it because someone interviewed AJ Styles and he goes, "You're kidding, right? Wait, we really have a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire? Is that the theme song? How come no one told me about this?" Like AJ had no clue that there was even a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire.
Because it sounds too absurd to be real. For some reason, it's not on the docket for 2018. I don't know why.
Yeah. Like, good job, WWE. You told half your superstars.
I'm sorry. Are we really going to use the term "too absurd to be real" in the WWE?
Sometimes, but yeah, I guess not. Because we got Katie Vick and some other stuff.
Yeah, there's Katie Vick.
So I guess, yeah.
Visagra says what?
Yeah, exactly.
The Kali Kiss Cam says what?
Kali Kiss Cam. I remind you, this is the company that thought a kettle in the cell match was a good idea.
Kettle in the cell? Never heard of it.
It was basically a match where, imagine, if you will, a Hell in a Cell match. There was a cell, and then there was a larger cell outside of the smaller cell in which the superstars are located, and between the two cells were a bunch of dogs. Like supposedly mean dogs that would attack you if you tried to escape the cell. This was not the case, and in fact, the dogs basically just ran around doing whatever the hell they wanted, and they just pissed and shitted everywhere, and it was just a mess.
Literally.
Literally. All right, so Tiff doesn't have one, so we're going to go over to me.
Well, that's what happens when you put a bunch of dogs in an enclosed area without a place to piss and shit.
Pretty much.
Because they are animals.
Yeah, basically. I had some debate about this, but there was two that were tied in my mind for this.
Okay.
It was hard to say which one.
But you still have 2 anyway.
No, I know it's already. I'm gonna just use the.
A lot less than the 50 you had earlier.
Yeah, it's better. I'm gonna just use another picture I have for this one, just for the hell of it. And it's not specifically because of this.
Okay.
But Backlash. Not specifically because of that. That's part of it, because what the fuck. But also just that pay-per-view generally was shit. I mean, let's see. We had this, which was not in and of itself a good match to start off with. Because Singh brothers. Wait, were they in that match, or did he get them later? I can't remember.
Ooh.
I don't remember. I want to say he had them to win the title.
So number one, Singh brothers. So that wasn't even a good match. Number two, the other matches of the card, we had Shinsuke and Dolph. Nobody gave a shit. The Usos beat Breezango, which was okay. Sammy and Corbin had a decent match. There was a 6-woman tag match that was like, okay. The best match on the card was Kevin versus AJ for the U.S. title, which ended in a fucking countout. And then Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, which was dead.
That Kevin AJ match, was that the one where they fucked up the ending?
I believe it was.
After the fact to fix it, and they had to call in a favor from Jericho, who just happened to be there shooting other shit with them?
I believe that is what happened.
Yeah. And people gave a shit about the Shinsuke Dolph match until they saw the match.
Yeah, that's true.
They gave a shit going into it, and then when the match turned out to be shit, then they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I was hyped as hell for that match. I'm like, ooh, Shinsuke's going to wrestle. And then I saw the match. I'm like, the fuck is this?
Oh, no. This is because because Owens reversed a Styles Clash on the top of the table, and then freaking AJ's leg got caught in the table, and he got counted out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was not a very good pay-per-view. Since I'm the last one, I'm going to give an honorary runner-up to Battleground.
Okay.
Because Punjabi prison match.
Yeah, that match sucked.
Among other terrible matches on that card also.
Khali the assistant.
Yeah. It just generally was not a good pay-per-view at all. I mean, the Punjabi prison, there was Sammy versus Mike Kanellis. Cena and Rusev in a flag match that had been booked 2 days before.
Yeah.
That's build-up.
AJ Kevin and what was a better match. There was the women's 5-way that didn't really work. Shinsuke beat Corbin by disqualification. It just, no. Yeah. So, honorary mention of that. Next up, let's go to positive things. Our best pay-per-view of the year.
Absolutely.
So let's do that. I'm going to switch my image back over real quick. Here we go. And let's go to Jeff. What the hell?
I don't know. Not me.
So that's my favorite pay-per-view. Fastlane.
Thank you.
It was an overall good pay-per-view. I was trying to find the card. I forgot I wanted to have the card for this because I don't remember the actual matches that were on it. But I just remember this being a very solid pay-per-view from top to bottom. Okay, here we go. So we had the Kevin Owens-Goldberg match for the Universal Championship, which was probably the weakest match on that card. I didn't like that match very much, but fucking ad. Anyway, but yeah, that was like the weakest match on the card. But yeah, like the Roman Reigns v. Braun Strowman, which was an awesome match. You had, Bayley versus Charlotte, which, when those two go at it, it's always good. You had Samoa Joe versus Sammy, which is always solid. You had Neville versus Jack Gallagher for the Cruiserweight Championship. More on that later. You had the Club versus Enzo and Big Cass, which was kind of a throwaway match, but it was still not bad. You had Sasha versus Nia, which, that was decent. And then you had the kickoff show, which I didn't see, but what heard was pretty good. So all in all, from top to bottom, it was a pretty solid card, and it was a pretty fun pay-per-view to watch, all things considered. So yeah, Fastlane.
Fair enough.
Like
Sean.
Okay, I don't think I have one for this because the only pay-per-view I really saw was Rumble, and it wasn't that great. So.
Okay, that's fair enough. We have Tiff doesn't have it. Moving on to me. Yeah, TLC, mostly because of this. Also, Finn versus AJ impromptu match was still amazing.
That was a great match.
So, despite having two of the top people are supposed to compete out at the last minute, they still put on one hell of a pay-per-view. And I give them full credit for that. Does not hurt that it is my favorite concept for a match. So, there we go. Rolling on down the line.
Yeah.
Let me hit this. All right. We are going to do our next award. Let's see, where are we at? That is going to be our worst promo or segment.
Yes. If no one else has this on their list, there's something wrong because there's no other choice this year.
All right.
Yeah. No, I think there's two, but okay.
All right.
I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah, that was that was also mine because yeah.
Because come on, what about that was good except for Alexa Bliss? And even she couldn't save that horrible train wreck of bullshit coming out of what is supposed to be WWE creative.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was fucking terrible.
Yeah, this was fucking horrible.
Yeah. Yep.
There was no excuse for this.
No.
No.
It's funny because it went off of Jeff's logo thing. It looks like it just jumped to Jim's screen.
I like it. Okay, so we all agreement on that award. That one was easy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right, Jeff.
You
Best
said,
promo or segment.
All right.
You said promo or segment. What about worst one being I don't know if this consists of anything, but the way that they were trying to do that thing back and forth with Cena and Reigns, and how Reigns was trying to like come out with it, and it just wasn't flowing.
It's funny that you mention that.
I know,
Second of all,
what?
But before I show my best promo or segment, I want to give a runner-up to Triple H for turning an in-ring interview segment with Michael Cole into a 20-minute promo on Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Because that was amazing, and that shows why Triple H is one of the best people on the mic ever, especially as a heel. But my for best promo or segment, as Tiff alluded to, John Cena completely burying the fuck out of Roman Reigns on the mic. Because that was glorious.
Glorious.
That shit
I won't give in. I won't give in.
That shit was brutal. And from what I understand, it was a scripted shoot. And still, just the line of the night was, "Oh, wait, it's called a promo, son. You're going to have to learn how to do it sometime." I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it wasn't that scripted of a shoot, though. Because what happened here was that it was sort of a scripted shoot, but the problem was Roman forgot his lines.
Yes.
That's why we had and second of all,
yeah,
because Roman forgot what he was supposed to say, and so Cena just improv the whole damn thing.
Yeah, he completely fucking buried him. It was awesome.
See ya, fourth wall!
Yeah, pretty much. And I love how Cena literally addressed every single thing the fans have been saying for the last 15 years. Like, how about a little heel turn?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this just reinforced why Cena is probably the best mic man in the history of WWE. Just hands down, Cena is amazing on the mic.
The Rock says what?
I think Cena is slightly better than The Rock. Rock I think The Rock in his prime and Cena, maybe in his prime or maybe even now, because he's still rare form on the mic, I think would have been a sight to behold. You put those two together and Jericho, the three of them together, you have the three best mic men in the history of WWE right there.
I can agree with that.
But I think on the whole, I think Cena is better, if only because he's been doing it longer and has yet to miss a step. Whereas when The Rock came back, you could tell it had been so long since he'd done it. He was floundering that, and he had to write fucking lines on his arm. It's like, come on, dude. You're The Rock. Make shit up. So because of that, I have to say I think Cena is the best mic man in WWE ever to this point.
All right, fair. Fair enough. John.
As much as I love The Rock, he is my favorite superstar of all time.
It was the same segment was the best promo.
Same segment. Fair enough. Tiff.
Shredded him.
I'm just gonna go with it and say the same thing because I kind of alluded to it as if it was my Like the worst was like, okay, well, Reigns kind of like forgetting and everything, and it's like, oh well, that's not very good. It's like, oh well, you're floundering. Oh my god, like get on with it. And then yeah, I pretty much almost had the same thing.
Alrighty.
Yeah, if Cena hadn't been entertaining, it would have been terrible. But Cena was fucking gold.
Yep. Fair enough. Alrighty, and that leaves me, and I did not give it to that promo.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Biggest surprise of the year.
The fuck? Are you from the south of Canada now?
Lots of places have a south.
Well, I do declare.
I do believe I'm getting the vapors. Anyway. So I will
Blanche now, are you?
Why not? That's a good show. Anyway, moving along. Well, I agree. Cena taking Roman Reigns to the woodshed like that was quite good. I did enjoy that.
But there's a but.
There is always a but.
Never mind. There could be something going on there, but hey, I'm not going to touch it.
Motor butt? I do not think I like the sound of that.
Anyway.
I'm Beavis and Butthead.
Dudley Boy's here.
What's that? I missed that.
That was good. Anyway. So yes, while Cena taking Roman Reigns to the to the woodshed and basically saying some of the things that WWE fans have thought for a while was very, very good. I give them credit for this. Cena taking Roman, that's good. The Miz calling them both out was better.
The Miz had some great shit too. I will give you that.
Where the night after SummerSlam, after riding the coattails and wrestling a 6-man tag match in an empty fucking arena, the Miz had enough of this bullshit. And you could tell there was legitimate emotion behind the promo when the Miz came out after Cena started out and then called Roman out and they had a little thing, and Miz came out and was like, no, we're not doing this again. How many moments do you two get?
Yeah, that was a great promo.
Week after week after week, you two are out here while I'm running the Intercontinental Champion is running the coattails at SummerSlam. I am the only champion in this ring on the show. I should be in the main event each and every week.
He had a valid point.
And the audience started chanting, Miz is awesome, and agreeing with him. That was just an amazing promo that John Cena had to go ruin it with a stupid joke. But,
because he's John Cena.
I don't think Raw needs... Do we think Raw needs an addition? No, Raw doesn't want you, Cena. Well, I do not want it. I will take my leave. Get back over there.
You have to admit that was a great line, though. Oh, no, when I wanted, I will just see myself out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you have to admit that was a great reaction by Cena.
It was good, but just Miz's promo was just really good, where he clearly vented a legitimate frustration at the situation, and also got to vent the audience's thoughts on both Cena and Roman.
Yeah, man, that was a great promo.
I love that promo.
Yeah.
Also, gotta say, Jeff, kind of shocked at you, by the way.
Oh?
No Miz on Bryan on Talking Smack.
That was a great promo, too. Oh, we'll get there.
Because you sang the praises of that promo all up and down for months.
Shit, was that this year? I thought that was last year.
Was that last year?
I thought it was.
Well, let's find out.
Because that was really good, but I thought it was last year because I thought I gave it the award last year.
Oh. No, it was last year. I'm wrong. Never mind.
What? Right. Jeff wrong?
Oh.
What? You word?
Or I meant Jim. I meant to say Jim.
No, you're right.
All right. Moving on.
Moving along. We're going to go back over to Jeff for our next award, which is going to be the where are we at here? Yes, the worst feud or storyline of the year. Yes.
There you go.
Ooh. Okay.
Because fuck that feud. It was pointless because they never had any faith in Austin Aries. He lost 3 consecutive championship matches in a fucking row. What the fuck? including WrestleMania. So literally his entire run was pointless. And to the point that Austin Aries said, fuck this shit, and left. That's how pointless that feud was.
It was.
Fuck that.
That's fair enough. That was a legitimate
terrible
issue.
feud.
Yeah, that is accurate. I will give you that.
In fact, this right here is the reason neither of these men currently work for WWE because they both said, fuck that feud. And this right here, this exact thing, WrestleMania, Cruiserweight Championship, this is the exact reason neither of them work for WWE, because neither of them got fucking paid for that.
I don't think they got extra money for it.
They got no residuals, no nothing, and they got cut out of the DVD.
Well, yeah, they were on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Still, it was still fucking WrestleMania. It was a championship match.
Yeah.
And they deserved to be on the DVD and get the money for it because they worked their asses off and they got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And the feud was shit on top of it.
That is true.
Which is too bad because their matches were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yep, that is true. Also, by the way, worth noting, that Cruiserweight Championship match got relegated to the pre-show.
Yes.
Okay? I was going to make the point. That had to be on the pre-show. And yet, I don't know. I feel like there were other matches that, you know,
could have been on the pre-show.
Yeah, could have been better relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that, you know, wasn't a title match.
Yeah, the problem was, as I'm looking at the card here, a lot of the stuff that was non-title was kind of had to be on the card by virtue of storylines.
Yeah.
Because it was Reigns Taker, it was Cena and Nikki versus Miz and Maurice, it was AJ and Shane. Like, there was, because the Intercontinental title was on the pre-show too, so that's fair enough.
Fair enough. I think that match made it on the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, legitimate complaints by both competitors of that Cruiserweight match. Fuck you, WWE.
Fair enough. John.
All right. For my worst feud or storyline, I went with Shinsuke v. Jinder. Because whether or not you want Shinsuke to hold the belt, I'd argue it can't be that much worse. And if you had the two have a match, if you're just like, no, I think Jinder would totally beat him, you might be beyond help. But also, Jinder had that like really, really head-shaking promo where he's like saying stuff. You're like, dude, you can't say that in 2017. Like,
yeah.
He's just like, saying the casual racism, and it's like, what? No, it's like, no, it's okay. He's not white. No, that's that. That's not how that works. Just
surprised that wasn't your worst promo of the year.
No, because I figured I'd put it there instead. It almost was, but I was like, no. Because yeah, that was a bad promo, but also just the resolution of it, I felt was just
I
don't know. It was, no,
that's fair.
Yep. Tiff.
I have something there, but I'm not sure if it's like anything relevant. Like, I don't know. The Jason Jordan Kurt Angle bit that they were going for.
Oh, the whole Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's son? That's valid. Yes, and that was in fact a shit storyline. I'll give you that.
That was a pretty bad storyline.
No one said the storylines had to have a resolution. Oh, hey, Jim agreed with you.
I was gonna say the only part I liked about that is when they announced it and Chad Gable tweets, "Wait, what?"
I mean, granted, they probably do look somewhat alike, but I mean, the way they built it up was just like, he has a secret. Oh, well, it's gonna be bad. Like, for me, could get fired or whatever. But the way they built it up for him to be like his son is like, oh, well, okay, well, you built it up more than what it should have been.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you found out that he was your son. Big deal. It sounded like it was supposed to be a bigger secret than it is.
Because it's totally believable that in 2017 a white man can get fired for having a black son.
Why? That's racism.
Yeah, that was
Exactly.
this could destroy my career, and then it happens, and you're like, how would that destroy your career?
Right? Oh, he's illegitimate and he's black. And
Yeah.
I think it was more the illegitimate part than the black part.
Maybe, but I don't know.
You guys take a look at what my picture looks like? Like, hello.
Yeah, but even
I'm
still, the illegitimacy
I'm a
thing.
biracial person.
Yeah, but even then, illegitimacy. It's 2017. It's not that huge a deal.
No.
Especially
It's
when they're
not.
like, it was some chick I fucked back in college. Well, that's even less of a deal. That was fucking college.
Yep.
Shit happens when you're in college.
That's the thing is, I don't think he was married at the time, and it wasn't like anyone. It wasn't like he slept with Linda McMahon or anything. It was just like, oh, it was some girl. I just dated her. Like, what? That's
I've had a one night stand within college. It's like, okay, shit happens when you have a one night stand. It's called college.
I don't think that would destroy his career. But...
it wasn't that. It didn't seem to me like it was that good of a build up, and even how they did build it up, it didn't seem to be. To need to be that seem that kind of a secret. Like it was supposed to be bigger. Like you expected it to be bigger than what it was coming out to be.
Yeah.
The resolution didn't meet the build up. It had a great build up, and then the reveal was like, really, that's it.
Yeah. And then following the reveal, it's just been absolute shit because
no one cares.
They haven't been able to get him over once at all, and nobody cares, and it just floundered like hell. The concept was good, the execution was just a piece of shit.
The concept was good, the casting director needs to be fired. Because as many people pointed out, the concept would have worked if that had been Chad Gable. It would have been more believable.
How? Because he's white?
I mean, not the concept of, oh, this terrible secret that's going to ruin me, and I have a legitimate son. It's just, if you're going to pick a superstar to be Kurt Angle's son, Chad Gable's the better choice. And no, not because he's white, but because in all honesty, Jason Jordan, I think, looks more like Kurt Angle, but Chad Gable, wrestles more like Kurt Angle. And also, people give a shit about Chad Gable.
True. Fair enough. But yeah, this is just it has not been good, and it hasn't improved. I mean, to their credit, Jason Jordan in 2018 now is steadily improving.
Yes.
But
that's not because of Kurt Angle, that's because of Seth freaking Rollins.
Well.
Well, yeah, I would say that. I mean, concluding back to when he was trying to use the dad card. Oh, my dad is the general manager. Oh, I can do that. Like, it seemed like he was being a big baby about it. Like, oh, I need to do this. You can let me do this, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, you're not going to get what you want. I'm just going to call you Kurt Angle instead of that. I mean, like, really, come on. You're freaking an adult. You're a freaking professional wrestler. Do you really need to have an adult temper tantrum? Are you really Sheldon for the Big Bang Theory? Come on.
Yeah. That's
anytime you don't get your way, then blow it off and continue. Don't have a show of a temper tantrum. Jeez.
Yep.
I guess that's my rant for today, but anyway.
It's a good rant. But yeah, no, I agree. The storyline has just fallen flat, and unfortunately, it got hurt even worse when they had to basically halt what was apparently a heel turn because Ambrose went and injured his elbow. And so he had to kind of move into that space. So now who knows where it's going to go. But we'll see, because they have been kind of building his character up a little bit. They've been giving him some characterization of now he's impetuous and
reckless.
And reckless, yeah. So I
think they're still going to go with the heel turn because it seems like they're building it up to where Seth Rollins is eventually going to be like, you're too reckless, you don't listen, you're too much of a loose cannon, fuck off.
Well, we'll see. It's possible.
I want you.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, okay. So, rolling on along. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. River. We're gonna move on to our best feud or storyline of the year.
Jim, if you don't have this on yours and you don't agree, then you need to turn in your Jerichoholic card. That was a fucking amazing storyline. Jericho and Kevin Owens, that whole best friends thing, and then Kevin Owens turning on him at the Festival of Friendship, then going on to WrestleMania, Jericho fucking winning, and then getting his ass destroyed on the next SmackDown. It was amazing. It was a great storyline. And we can thank Jericho for that, because he's the one who came up with the timeline for that storyline. It was like, no, trust me, it'll work a lot better than what you want. Because Triple H wanted Owens to just fucking outright attack Jericho, and Jericho was like, no, that's fucking stupid. There's no drama. You need the drama.
Uh-huh.
And then the whole timeline of what if I win? Because they were gonna have Owens win at WrestleMania, and Jericho was gonna go off to do Fozzy stuff. And Jericho was like, "What if we swerve the fans? What if I win?" And then then Kevin Owens destroys me on the next SmackDown, takes the title, and then I go off. And Jericho reckons that was the far better ending and the much better payoff, which it was. So just this whole storyline, which of course started in 2016. But the resolution of it was in 2017, was just great, and by far my favorite feud.
You know, it's far back enough that I didn't really consider it for this year, although it was a really good storyline. I will give you that. Going on over to John.
All right.
All right.
I almost went with one that made me laugh way too much, which was Cornette versus Russo. But... But I have to thank the Seven Deities, because I'm going to go with the Hardys v TNA /
That was my runner-up.
I know
I will give you that.
Strictly, it's not even like a storyline. It was just like,
that's a feud. It's a feud, but it's not a K-pop feud.
Yeah. And just because that one like had a resolution as far as we could tell, where like Cornette Russo didn't, and I'm not sure how much of it is real, but it was way entertaining. But there was like super real life drama with that, and just it was always entertaining to just get updates every week. So
I'll agree. Like I said, that was my runner-up.
Fair enough. All right.
Jim.
Yes. Tiff.
Go ahead.
You don't have one.
You don't have one?
Not really, no.
Okay, moving on. And I'm going to get my picture over here. Where is it? It's here somewhere. There it is. And I gave, because I thought this was well done, where they built it up over the course of time, rather than just big, and they made it make sense, and I think it was worthwhile. Sierra, Hotel, Indio, Echo, Lima, Delta. The reunion of the Shield.
Oh, yeah.
Because they made it take time. They didn't have Ambrose immediately forgive Rollins. It took a lot of time of him proving himself to get to that point. And even then it was only the two of them. It took even more time for Roman to come back to them. And when they came back, it was worth it because we had been waiting for it for so long, and they made it work.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really enjoyable to see the Shield back together, to build on what they had done, to see the Ambrose and Rollins as the tag team champions, and to really just... see that build of three who were now top guys, three former world champions coming back and reuniting to be this dominant force against all and against the perfect heels of the Miz and the Bar, who were just doing a great, plus the Miztourage doing a great job of just forming this large heel faction, just running roughshod over everything, and just being a great heel for them to take on. Overall, just a great feud, a great storyline of bringing the Shield back together to deal with that.
I agree with that.
Dominating against everything except illness and injury.
Yeah, pretty much. You okay, John? You looked confused for a minute there.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I'm just glad you picked them with the full Shield shirts and not that like awful half Shield, half Raw one that they had for the.
Oh, yeah, that was a terrible shirt.
That one looked bad.
No.
For bragging rights, I think it was.
Yeah. Okay.
No, the half Raw, half Shield shirts were Survivor Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those, sorry.
It was when they invaded SmackDown.
Okay, this next one is going to be interesting.
Yes.
This is our award for the most misused superstar, which can be either male or female, which would be the superstar we feel was underutilized or used incorrectly in terms of their talent, the storylines they were in, the feuds, whatever.
Yes.
Jeff.
My runner-up is Finn Balor. But the person I actually chose, Lana. Because they built up her return. They ironed out the gimmick. They had her come back. It was actually kind of awesome, and her entrance was great. They let her wrestle a few matches, and the matches that she wrestled were actually pretty good, at least from her side. Granted, the person she was wrestling against, not so much. But she had some good matches. She showed that she could actually wrestle and wrestle pretty well, and then they just stopped altogether. They just took her and shelved her back onto the role she was in before the whole transformation and just made her a fucking manager again. I'm like, no, let her wrestle. She can wrestle. And they just won't do it. And she was just totally underutilized this entire year. Not saying that she's a bad manager or anything, and putting her with Tamina was not a bad call, but it's like, dude, she proved she can wrestle. Let her wrestle. It's like they didn't even give her a chance. So Lana is my most underused, most misused superstar of the year.
Fair enough. John.
All right. There were 3 good choices, 2 of which were alluded to earlier by Jeff. Decided not to go with them, even though I think they're very good. Hopefully someone mentions them more, but we'll see. I went with Bayley. Of course I did.
That's because valid.
They brought her up, and I think she's really fucking good in the ring, and she's not bad on the mic. Like in NXT, she was really good. And even if they had like copied that character arc, I think that would have been fine.
Jim,
but they like botched it really bad and tried to do it early, and like the crowd like hates her now, and I'm just like, oh, what did you people do? Like, you had a blueprint you could have copied, and they're just like, nah, screw that, let's just do something else.
She's not the only one they fucked up.
Oh no, they fucked up a lot of this.
They fucked up all 4 horsewomen.
Yeah. But I feel like she's recovered the least, though.
Yeah.
Like Charlotte's fine. Sasha, I think part of that is the injuries that so they don't like her as much, and like Becky is she's down there, but it feels like Bayley's fallen the farthest and no one's pulled her up. They're just like, fuck her, leave her there, and I'm like, no, she's good.
I liked Bayley coming out of NXT. I liked all 4 of them coming out of NXT. Yeah. And it's like the only one that looks strong now after hitting the main roster is Charlotte, but that's again only because of her last name, probably.
That's I hate to say it, but it feels like that's why they would help her more than the rest.
Yeah, I hate to say it too, because she is immensely talented and she's got a great look, but let's be honest, that's the only reason she's successful at the moment in WWE.
Considering everyone else that they've screwed up with, yes, probably. Yeah. I would definitely agree with that.
I mean, it says it all when in NXT and coming up to the main roster, they went with the name Charlotte. And then because they're like, oh no, we have to keep her relevant and get her over, they've started calling her Charlotte Flair. And it's like, really? After going out of their way not to do that, after going out of their way not to make her Ric Flair, they start calling her Charlotte Flair and giving her all these ridiculous robes. And you're just like, oh, come on. She was much better before she became gender bent Ric Flair.
Following daddy's footsteps.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, she did the tributes to him. She had similarities to him, but she was her own person and own character. Now she's literally gender bent Ric Flair. And I'm just like, minus the dirty stuff, because obviously she's a face, but still, it's like, come on, WWE. Like Charlotte of all people doesn't need, the name and the gimmick like that to get over. She's proven she can do it just on her own merits with a gimmick that isn't Ric Flair. Over to Jim.
John.
I did mine.
Or is Jim just going to look really perplexed?
Tiff?
No.
No? Okay. Alrighty, what do I got here? Let's see. Right. I actually gave this one a tie.
Okay.
This is a tie. because there were two gentlemen that I felt were not equally underutilized, but underutilized in different ways.
Right.
And I felt they did both deserve this.
That's funny. More on that later.
Interesting.
Dolph Ziggler, which I think is kind of obvious.
Yes.
Because he's basically been just floundering on SmackDown, trying all these, reboot gimmicks trying to get over, and none of them are working. If you just let Dolph go out there and just be Dolph and wrestle, he would probably get over. Just let him do his thing, give him a chance to get him over, and people want to like Dolph Ziggler. He was likable when he showed up. Everybody loved his "Hi, my name is Dolph Ziggler" thing when he started out, and then it just. Whereas in the Miz's case, I feel like the Miz has done a lot this year. He's been the Intercontinental Champion fairly consistently on both shows, pre and post shakeup. But the Miz should be in the World Championship picture. He should be the main event level heel. And on Raw he's kind of being used that way because Brock doesn't like to show up. He could be more. He's always in that second level, Intercontinental title heel area, and I feel like he could be a main event heel and carry the show when you don't have any heels. I mean, there was that point in time when everybody was fucking injured and they had no people. They could have done that and they didn't. And it's like you could push Miz as your main event top level heel. It doesn't all have to be. And especially on Raw, in a place where, I know, once the title's off of Brock, then there'll be more of an opportunity to do things. But you're building this Brock thing up for Roman. But you could, and even on SmackDown, the Miz could have been in the WWE Championship picture, and that would have worked out great.
Mm-hmm.
He could have very easily been the masterful heel that AJ Styles is feuding against, and that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the Miz, he does really good work, and he's greatly consistent in that Intercontinental role. But I feel like after the last time they gave him the world title, specifically that Mania match against Cena, I feel like they don't totally trust him in the main event, which is unfortunate. Because if anything, he's only gotten better with age in terms of his mic work, his in-ring work. He's a complete package. And I feel like they need to push him as a main event heel and give him a world championship run. It's over fucking due at this point.
Yeah.
Put him in the event, let him feud against somebody that he can carry a good feud with. Let him be against, if he's going to be on Raw, let him be against Seth or Dean. I mean, you could even technically make Roman work if you had to.
Please don't put him against Dean. We've seen enough of that.
I could watch Miz and Dean Ambrose feud forever.
WWE, please don't listen to James Phoenix.
I love Miz and Dean Ambrose because they are perfect polar opposites of each other, and they work so well together, and I love it. But anyway, have him feud against somebody in that upper, then maybe Seth or somebody in that upper echelon, and you could make that work. Use him to get some of these other people, to get that main event scene going. Give him a world title push once the title's off of Brock and there's a chance for it to move around a little bit. Let him do that. I think he could really deserve that push and be a main event level heel for another 5 or 6 years before he starts closing in a little bit more on retirement age. So Miz and Dolph, obviously, I think they're finally doing something with Dolph now in 2018. So that's good. Keep up what you're doing with Dolph because he's showing up at the Rumble. He's not going to just let this championship get reawarded. He's gonna show up in the Rumble and win it because he can. One of the two.
We'll see. One person I'd love to see Miz feud with, despite the fact they're both heels. Kevin Owens.
That would be amazing, also. Because you could, being how much people love him anyway, you could very easily face turn the Miz.
Or you could face turn Kevin Owens.
Or Kevin Owens. Either one would work because they both know how to work a crowd. So you could go either way with that. I wouldn't mind seeing Sami Zayn feud with the Miz.
That would be a good feud too.
But yes, use these superstars.
Indeed.
All right. Next up on our list is the most improved superstar, male or female. The superstar who has come the furthest over the course of the year to basically show what they can do both in the ring, on mic. Overall, superstar that has gone above and beyond to grab that brass ring, as it were.
I don't know about grabbing a brass ring, but he has definitely improved from where he once was. I'm talking, of course, of Shane O'Mac. Because let's be honest, original Shane O'Mac barely fucking wrestled. Comes out this year and fucking wrestles a 5-star match against AJ Styles. That's AJ Styles.
Was that the best picture you could come up with there?
Yes. Oh, I wanted a picture of him actually wrestling. So he's locking in a submission hold.
That doesn't exactly look like wrestling.
Yeah. But I mean, Shane's come a long way. He wrestled a great match, even though, majority of his moves were like basic moves. But it was still showing that he took the match seriously and actually, learned how to properly wrestle. Again, as I said before, hitting that flush shooting star press, which was an amazing feat in and of itself, and just showing that he could go toe to toe in the ring with someone like AJ Styles. I mean, he would never ever be able to beat AJ Styles, but he showed that he at least could take AJ Styles to a limit, and that was an impressive feat in and of itself. And given the fact that he hadn't wrestled in like 15, 20 years, he's in his mid-40s now, so he's not in the best of shape, to come out and wrestle as good as, if not better than, the majority of the male roster, I mean, that Shane has improved, and I think part of it might be because of stuff he's done in the intervening years, because it's obvious he has stayed in shape, even if he hasn't been in wrestling shape. And the fact that he could, after all this time, go into serious training for wrestling and come out better than he was when he was in his prime, that says a lot to how well Shane O'Mac can learn and how athletic he is physically, that he could actually pull the shit off at his age. So yeah, Shane O'Mac definitely most improved. Also, he's also shown he has not lost a step on the mic. Shane O'Mac's always been good on the mic, and he still is. So
It's true.
Yeah, Shane O'Mac, welcome back.
Fair enough. All right, John.
All right, for my most improved superstar, I went with Drew Gulak, just because I actually care about him. Coming from, as much as there's some, good matches on 205 Live, as we were talking about earlier, there's not a lot of people have character, and he came out like trying to be a heel of being like a boring person, and he somehow got it over with his like PowerPoint presentations and shit, and like badly doing Enzo's intro and stuff for him. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, he's entertaining now, he's interesting. And
yeah.
So I'm like, wow, he kind of surprised me by coming out of virtually nowhere, being like, this guy's pretty cool.
I know, he did great work. I love it. All right, I can agree with that. Tiffles. Tiffles. Uh-oh. Tiff. Tiff. Tiff.
Lost her.
She really fall asleep already? Wow.
We'll come back to Tiff later.
Yeah.
Moving on to me. And for me, I thought that there was really only one choice here to really, in terms of overall improvement, by leaps and bounds, it's Enzo Amore.
Okay.
Because, let's fair, Enzo started the year off as the tag team partner of Big Cass, and that was the extent of what he was. He was he was Big Cass's hype man. That was his job.
Yeah.
His job was to come out, cut an awesome promo, and get Big Cass, and let Big Cass beat people up, and maybe get thrown off a top rope by Big Cass to get a pinfall now and again. Nobody in their right mind believed that when this group up that Enzo would have any kind of future whatsoever. The belief was, of course, that Cass, being a big dude of decent in-ring skill and decent mic work, would get over and probably be a Kevin Nash type, and Enzo would fade into obscurity, or at the very least, end up a jobber. He'd be the next JTG. Enzo proved everybody wrong, because when Cass unfortunately suffered a devastating knee injury, and has been out ever since, for many, many months now, Enzo picked up his ball and said, no, I'm not going home. I'm going to run this thing. And Enzo continued cutting amazing promos, focusing on his strength,
He upped his moveset to prove he could get it done in the ring. He got himself an impact finisher that actually works for him and gets over. And he went out and not once but twice won the Cruiserweight Championship and single-handedly revitalized 205 Live. That is impressive.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is when Enzo does it, you love it, but when Jinder Mahal does it, it's bullshit.
I believe Enzo was capable of doing it. That's the difference.
Fair enough.
And also because they did at least they put Enzo over there. He started cutting promos. He got over everything else. But Enzo was already believable as a superstar. And yeah, he showed he could do a lot more. But in Jinder's case, it came the fuck out of nowhere. That was the problem.
That's fair.
Because at least with Enzo, we knew his personality, we knew who he was, and then he got further over. With Jinder Mahal, he never really had a personality outside of being that Indian dude. Or the third guy in 3MB.
Yeah.
That was the extent of what he was really known as. The man of peace, briefly. He didn't really have a thing, whereas Enzo was an established character that we knew. So it was believable to see him on this improvement. It's like, oh yeah, this is great, see what Enzo can do. Whereas Jinder, they didn't establish him first. All of a sudden, he came back, did the thing for a little while, and then all of a sudden, bam, world title.
Yeah.
In Enzo's case, I think it came out of nowhere because it was forced to, but they built it up enough that it was believable because, he was already in the weight class. He went over and started appearing on 205 Live. He started showing he could wrestle more, getting over in those matches, and then he built up and he won the title from Neville. And after winning the title, he proved more why he should have it.
Yeah.
At no point did Jinder Mahal, I'll give credit to Jinder Mahal. He proved that he can wrestle decently in the ring, but at no point did he prove to me why he should have the world title aside from, I have two dudes that help me keep it.
Well, he also proved that when given an actual halfway decent heel gimmick, he could carry that gimmick. Because let's be honest, he's actually interesting now with the whole modern day Maharaja thing.
That's
where
true.
He's this arrogant and cocky Indian supremacist. At least he has a character, and it's a character that keeps you interested in him getting his ass kicked.
That is true. And but I give full credit to Enzo Amore for the vast improvement he has shown, because I really thought, especially after Big Cass got injured, I was like, oh no. Yeah. Well, that's the end of Enzo. Yeah. Enzo's going to be in the back hawking merchandise for the next 3 years.
Nope, he's the realest champ in the room.
And then they turned around and they said, okay, well, and then the Dirtjits were like, well, Enzo looks like he's going to move to 205. And I went, oh shit, that might actually work. And it did. My leaps and bounds. So well done to the realest champ in the room. And our well wishes still to Big Cass. We hope you're back soon.
Indeed. Also, I have to say, my runner-up for most improved, Roman Reigns.
That's fair.
Because his matches have gotten better. His matches have never really been bad, per se, but he's gotten better in the ring, more versatile. But he's really shown that he can actually cut a halfway decent promo. Despite Cena burying him, that promo, that entire segment showed Roman Reigns could cut a promo even if he forgot his lines.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else after that, all the promos with John Cena or against, or at John Cena leading up to that match after that, showed that Reigns can in fact cut a promo. Now, the downside of it is it showed Roman Reigns can only cut a promo when he's not cutting it with somebody else.
Mm.
If he's in the ring with somebody, and that somebody is better than him at promos, yeah. But if he's by himself cutting a promo at the person, like when John Cena wasn't there, he can actually cut a halfway decent promo. And his mic skills have improved.
Fair enough. Well, let's keep it on rolling.
Yeah.
Rolling. Next up, we're going to get to our top awards here.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with the worst match of the year.
Little test for you two gentlemen. Tell me if you know what this is. By your faces and the laugh, I think you know what that is. That is my worst match of the year because of that.
I give the credit, it was a clever idea. It didn't work, but it was a clever idea.
It was a good concept, shit execution, which seems to be the mantra for WWE.
Basically, yeah.
And for those who don't know, this is Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt for the aforementioned WWE Championship at WrestleMania. I wouldn't even classify this as a match. That's how shit this was. Because that's literally the match right there. It consisted of Orton trying to sell Photoshop images on a digital canvas.
Basically.
It was so shit.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, people, I'm saying this in the same year we got the House of Horrors match.
It's true.
That's how shit this was.
Fair enough.
You should mention that.
John?
Yeah, I went with the House of Horrors match because it just like the idea of like, oh, we're gonna have like a street fight in like a dilapidated house. You're like, okay, that could be cool. Oh, and then we're gonna stop in the middle, get into a car, and come back to the arena and finish it. And you're like, what? Like, why even have that then? I don't know. And he just traps him under a fridge and then just leaves. And he's like, yeah, screw this, I'm going. Like, I don't know. Didn't they? Wasn't it like Bray knew where it was, but Orton didn't, but somehow like showed up there? Or like, I guess Bray was like, haha, I know where this is, and then just slips a note to the driver or something. I don't know. It's just.
Well, no, what happened was this. It was Randy Orton was driven to the location. And he was dropped off at the location, and they proceeded. And then Bray jumped in the car that Randy arrived in and left and went to the arena. And since Randy Orton did not drive himself there, the concept was that Randy Orton might not know how to get back to the arena from the House of Horrors. Simultaneously, the commentators, specifically Michael Cole, were screaming that we need to get some medical help for Randy Orton out there, but they didn't know where it was to send the medical help. Which is hilarious because if you're using a little bit of that thing called logic that WWE doesn't like you to use, you also have to realize another concept is, okay, Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt drove away in that car that Randy Orton came in, so, nobody knows where it is. Pretty sure the camera guy you left behind does.
Yeah.
Also, pretty sure the limo driver does.
That too.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We don't have a tiff at the moment. We don't have a tiff. But yeah, pretty much. I would not necessarily classify this as a match.
Fair enough.
But close enough. But yeah, this, I don't know.
Yeah.
Living from babies from fridge. I don't know.
Did anybody buy that house? Wasn't it up for sale like a month later?
It was up. That's why they rented that house to trash, because it was up for sale. So they figured they could, rather than the house somebody was actually living in.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't choose that one is because at least I got some enjoyment out of that match, whereas the other match, the entire time I was like, what is this?
I can see that.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, you can't tell me you didn't enjoy Bray coming back to the arena only to get RKO'd out of nowhere in the middle of the ring. Come on. that was
okay.
Awesome.
All right. Tiff, how about yours?
No.
No, you don't got one? Okay. Moving on.
Yes.
Give me a beat,
Oh.
Tomko. No.
Oh, yes. I love that. Also, I'm going to give an honorable mention, by the way, real quick.
Yeah.
I want to say it was at SummerSlam, but I can't recall. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Big Cass versus Big Show with Enzo in a shark cage.
That was weird. Where Enzo lubed himself up
Yeah.
and slipped out of the shark cage only just to get like fucking choke slammed by a Big Show or some shit.
He got punched. I think he got
Okay.
punched.
Fair enough.
But either way. Yeah, so terrible, man. Okay. Let's get away from the negative for a little while. Let's go to our positives. Let's go to the best match of the year.
I told you he was going to get an award from me. I do have a tie on this one, and I'll mention the second one later if no one chooses this match, so I don't see how anyone wouldn't. But I have this one as my favorite match of the year.
Really?
Gallagher versus Neville. It was a great match. It was a fucking clinic, and it was just, it showed why the cruiserweights and why 205 Live should be watched. It was fun, fast paced, unorthodox because you had Gallagher, but I mean, you saw them bust out shit you never thought you'd see them bust out. Like Gallagher goes flying. Fucking Neville decided to use the red arrow. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just out and out, it was a really, really good match. I love this match.
Fair enough. John?
All right, so for my match of the year, it's one of the ones I had to rewrite. But I don't know if anyone knows for New Japan, but Kenny Omega had several matches with Okada.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to remember his first name offhand. It's like Kazuchika or something. But like they had 3 matches, all of which were good. I've only saw the second and third one. The second one was insane because it went a full hour and ended with a timeout. Spoiler. But it was just some of that like really good in-ring storytelling where they just, you know, and the way they do wrestling over there is like finishers are super like if you hit it, like there's very few ways to get out of it, but signatures are candy. They just throw them. It's like confetti. They're just all over the place. And just they had like a crazy, really good, entertaining match with lots of highlights for 60 minutes. And even though it ended in a timeout, it was kind of like those Rey Mysterio Kidman ones from back in the day where like you still were invested even though you're like oh, this can't end in a timeout. It does, and you still feel satisfied. And it was like, this is a damn good match. I don't know if I'd give it whatever it was 6 3/4 stars or whatever Dave Meltzer gave, because I feel like if your scale goes to 5, why would you get anyway? But it was really good.
Yeah, fuck Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
Out of 5, I give it 6. That's not. Oh. But it was really good. I could see why he would want to, but I wouldn't say it over.
I'm going to tell you something hilarious after we're done with this recording in regards to that. Moving along. Tiff, you got one?
She's muted.
No, that doesn't mean she can't unmute. She has the capacity to do that, you know.
She has the power.
Alrighty.
Usually if she's muted, that means she's not there.
Not necessarily.
Anyway.
Best match of the year. Where is it? I have a picture for it here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? No, that's not it. That's not it. Where the hell? There we go. Oh, wait, no, I just passed it. There we go. Really, I think the match of the year kind of started the year off, if I'm being honest.
No, that's probably not my runner-up then, or my tie.
From the first pay-per-view of 2017. Fight forever. Fight forever. Fight forever. It was AJ Styles versus John Cena for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble of 2017. It was a freaking classic. These two always put on amazing matches anytime they're in the ring together, and that was the pinnacle of them going at it for like 25 minutes. There was a super AA. They were kicking out of everything. It was amazing. That match.
Fair enough.
That match.
That was a good match.
I think I can do you one better.
Okay, do me one better.
Because my tie, I couldn't decide between these two because I love this match too. But I went with the Gallagher one.
That was also a good match.
That was a fucking great match, especially for that moment. That was amazing.
It was an amazing match, but it lost one thing compared to Cena AJ, and that was there was no build behind it.
True. But I think that's what made this match amazing was that despite the fact there was no build behind it, they were still able to tell a story in the ring and put together an amazing match.
They were, and it was a great match, but had there been a story behind it, it would have gone just that much further. It would have gone to 6 out of 5 stars.
Maybe. I still thought this was a great match. Like, if you watch the match, it's just, holy fuck, is this a clinic? And it's two guys who know each other intimately, yet have never wrestled against each other.
It's true.
And just the shit they pulled out, and Finn Balor selling the knee tweak for half the match. Just it was great all around. Just it was a clinic. This is how you wrestle a match.
Yep, that's fair enough. Well, we'll leave it on you. We're going to go to our next award. Where's my list? There we go. We're going to go to the Tag Team or Stable of the Year.
Fair enough. Where is the image?
How many?
There it is. All right. So really, I could only think of one tag team or stable to put here.
I hope that's like.
We are the bar.
Oh.
Yeah. What? How does their quote go, Jim?
John, did you agree with that one?
It's fine. Why?
No, I just didn't know if you had the same one. That's what
no, I don't.
Okay, just checking. Because I did. I also picked the bar.
Say the quote, Jim.
Hang on, let me turn that thing off so we can see both of our pictures flashing back and forth. We don't just set the bar, we are the bar!
Yeah, these two gentlemen had an amazing year, going from two people who were floundering in the mid-card, two men who no one thought would ever be a halfway decent tag team, becoming actually a really damn good tag team with a great gimmick and a great name, multiple-time tag champions. They've just had a hell of a year.
They really have. They really have.
Cesaro's impacted teeth aside.
Yeah. Oh.
And Sheamus's spinal stenosis aside.
Yeah, well.
Oh,
Okay, they're Tiff.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah, they are my tag team of the year.
All right. And mine. I agree with everything you said. They've just been an amazing tag team. I said they've got their name, their catchphrase, the matches they've wrestled have been amazing, carrying the tag team division on Raw, really, and just doing a great job of it. So they definitely deserve that award. Tiff, did you have a tag team or stable of the year?
I did have the bar. I also had Seth and Dean.
Okay, fair enough. I hear that. Okay. So, John, how about yours?
All right, my tag team or stable of the year. I went with the Bullet Club, just because.
I can agree with that. That's fair.
Like having that cease and desist, where on most, people and teams that would be bad. They turned that into like a positive to actually get more over and sell more merch.
Yeah.
And Jericho helped bringing up Omega and making him more visible to the West than he was, and I think they've had some really good standout matches and some good exposure, even, more so out of Japan, where more people know about them. I mean, damn, you can buy their shirts at Hot Topic. Maybe that's where I got one, but like that's
I
like
saw,
pretty crazy.
I saw them there. I was in Hot Topic with Anastasia Laser Beam a week or two ago, and I did see them there.
Nice. So I'd say that I think they had a really good year where they always put on good matches, but they've gotten more exposure and been able to turn what seemingly bad things into better things, and looking toward next year where I think this might have actually been Meltzer too, where he's like, oh, they wouldn't sell 10,000. Cody Rhodes is like, fuck what now? Okay, fine. So he's just like, oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And you're just like, oh man, like they might be able to do it at this point in time.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it.
No, I think one of the big reasons they've gotten so much exposure this year is because of Cody Rhodes, because he knows how to get exposure in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So, my turn.
Your turn.
No, I had yours with the bar, so yeah, right. Let's go back around. All right, we're gonna do our top 2 awards here, people. This is the big ones.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with our female superstar of the year.
In my mind, there was only one.
Probably
and she is 5 feet of fury.
Oh, yeah.
What's that, Tiff?
Nothing. I thought he was going to go with somebody else.
Yeah, I go with Alexa Bliss. She started the year as a SmackDown women's champion, ends the year as the Raw Women's Champion. Come on, how can you not make her the female superstar of the year here? She has improved leaps and bounds. Like when she first showed up, I looked at her, I was like, okay, she's got a good look, she's attractive. Don't know if she can wrestle. She's proved she can fucking wrestle, and she's great on the mic. She's just a total package, and she's had such a great year. By far my favorite female superstar on either roster.
Fair enough. John.
I also went with Alexa Bliss just because of all, the people that came up in NXT as women especially, she's done so great consistently where they just haven't lost faith in her. And yeah, she's won multiple titles on both shows. And even though she was in that awful This Is Your Life Bailey, she came out like scot-free.
Well, she was also the best part of it.
Yeah, but like usually when there's something terrible, it doesn't matter who's the best part. People are just like, "Oh, that was all shit. Everyone involved is shit." And like, she seemingly got out of that and just consistently.
Well, because everybody knew damn well. The problem is that everybody knows through K-Fob enough to know damn well that this was not Alexa's fault. It was the writer's fault.
Yeah.
And also, everyone could see Alexa was trying her damnedest to salvage it, and even she couldn't salvage it.
Yeah, it was bad.
But,
it's more everyone felt sorry for Alexa to have this bit in the first place.
Yeah. All right, Tiff.
I didn't have one down, but I don't. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of one right away. So I'm going to say I don't have one right now.
Fair enough.
Jimson.
I also went with the goddess of WWE.
Fair enough.
Why not, right?
I have to give her full credit. Number one, the only woman to have won the women's title on both shows.
Yep.
Let's make that clear. She's the only woman who's been both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions. Held them both multiple times, I might add. I think. And just has generally had an amazing year carrying the WWE Women's Division and doing a great job of it. I do feel, as I've seen things, I do feel like she is great on the mic, amazing on the mic. I do feel like her in-ring work, while good, could be better. Yes. I will say that. Her in-ring work is good. It could be better. It has been better since she got herself an Impact finisher and stopped using that Twisted Bliss so much. But
she tries to sneak her way out of everything.
Yeah, it's part of the character is the issue. The problem is they've got her playing the Seth Rollins character, as I like to call it. The chicken shit heel that doesn't do anything. It's like, at least go wrestle a good match and prove that you deserve the belt once in a while.
But the thing is, she does it better because she doesn't have the authority to weasel her way out of everything. So she actually has to outright win matches sometimes because it's just her.
That's true.
She's had alliances, but she hasn't had fucking Triple H.
Yeah, that's true. So, but Alexa has just done so well, and she certainly deserves this for continuing on as the Raw Women's Champion now, and seeing how that goes in the future, depending on who wins their first ever Women's Royal Rumble. So, props to Alexa, and keep up that great work. Definitely well deserved. All right, and that brings us to our final award of the evening. It's the male superstar of the year.
Yep, I know we're going to disagree with this because I already mentioned, there's more for him later. Awesome! This has been the Miz's best year in his entire fucking career. Hands down. He has cut the best promos in his career. He has ruled the entire mid-card across both shows with an iron fucking fist. He's quite literally one of the best heels, if not the outright best heel in the business right now. And I think while, yes, he deserves like some main event pushing, I think the mid-card is the perfect place for him because, to steal someone's catchphrase, he is the bar. He is literally the guy. He's the John Cena of the mid-card. He's the guy you have to get past to make it in the main event. He's the guy who will go to Vince and say, yes, this guy deserves to be pushed up, or fuck that, I'm just going to soul crushing finale his face into the mat and he can go back to NXT. Because you look across what he's done this year, United States champion multiple time, Intercontinental champion multiple times. Hell, because of the Miz, we got Maurice back, which is always fucking great.
This is true.
And the feuds that he's been in, he's always been the best part of those feuds, and he's always brought out the best in every single person he's feuded with this year. He's helped push some of the younger talent just by virtue of feuding with the Miz. He is that good. And yeah, I think he's probably going to get a main event run before it's all said and done. But I think right now his position as the John Cena of the mid card is exactly where WWE needs him. Now, whether he's going to continue that, we'll see. I don't know if he's going to get the title back or not. I'd be fine if he did. I'd also be fine if he didn't and he got pushed into the main event.
Fair enough.
For 2017, this was the Miz's year, hands down. And not to mention all his Hollywood successes, whether you like his movies or not. The fact that, you know, he even got all these parts, that says a lot about the Miz.
That's true.
You know, the fact that he keeps getting some of the recurring roles and stuff like that he has, you know, the recurring starring roles, it's like he must be doing something right.
Right.
The only thing that he hasn't been doing right is those gaudy ass costumes. But yeah, I loved The Miz. He was by far my favorite part of the entire year for WWE. Because whenever he opened his mouth, you knew he was going to spew gold.
It's true.
All right. Over to John. And Jim, you might want to put up the logo instead of Alexa Bliss.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to change that back over. Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Also, on a related note, Spewing Gold, soon to be the latest Shattered Dreams production.
He's a natural.
All right, let's go over to John.
All right. This kind of shocked me that I considered it and just went with it. Seriously, 2 years I wouldn't believe this, but or even maybe last year, but I went with Braun Strowman just because he got over just huge, mostly from just trying to kill Roman Reigns.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But like, they had him destroy Roman Reigns. He got over, and he did some. I mean, there was the Man Among Elf, and somehow it's still like, oh, it was big and goofy, but he's still fine. Like, he got destroyed by Brock and didn't really lose much momentum.
Yeah.
And, he's improved a lot in the ring and, like with his gimmick and stuff. And he's really in a good position where they keep pushing him and he keeps performing. So I can see that, he's going to be there and probably be utilized for a long time.
As long as he doesn't injure himself like he did earlier in the year.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't run over Steph's like children or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't punch another ambulance window.
Yeah, that too.
And like when he came out of a different garbage truck and came up like a monster movie out of the trash, it was so bad. It was wonderful.
The concept was good. They probably should have got the same truck.
At least the same color.
Yeah.
But even that, it's just like something like that. Not like it would derail anyone else, but like more when now people are just like, oh, that's funny. But it doesn't like, like that was dumb and Braun is stupid and they shouldn't push him. You're just like, whatever, it was funny. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. Scared the shit out of the Miz Rush. It was a B movie, but it was a good B.
Mm-hmm. On a side note about Braun Strowman, I saw a video the other day. I told Jim about this. I saw a video the other day that someone put together of superstars and their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, Braun Strowman's dad is fucking Reinhardt. Minus the eye scar. Because literally, his dad looks exactly like him. Same height, same build, same facial hair, except he's got white hair, so he looks like Reinhardt.
Fair enough.
Or as Jim put it, Santa Braun.
Or that.
That's going to be a WWE film in like 2 years.
Yeah. All right. Tiff, male superstar of the year.
I think I'll have to go with John on this one.
Fair enough. That's a good choice.
I know she meant Braun, but I'm going to pretend she said I'm the male superstar of the year.
Agreed.
You are on this channel.
Yes. You are the best one. That is established.
And for the final award, over to the host.
Yes, I will bring this home. Think about this. I was tempted to also give it to Braun Strowman. He was my runner-up because he did have a great year this year. Enzo had crossed my mind purely because of all the improvement he's gone through, which I gave him the other award. Even Jinder Mahal kind of just because of how massively he jumped to the main event and just dominated the SmackDown main event for months at a time.
And showed that he could hang there.
Yeah, exactly. But luckily, I didn't have to get a new picture this year. Because really, there was, in my mind, thinking about through all that's gone on, different superstars, everything everybody's done. There was one who still stuck out, and he's simply phenomenal.
Nice.
I considered AJ Styles. He was my runner-up.
He started the year as the WWE champion. He ended the year as a WWE champion. He took time off in between and won the United States Championship not once but twice.
Only because WWE fucked up.
He helped get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, well, mostly Kevin Owens, over on SmackDown. And SmackDown Live is still the house that AJ Styles built, and he has continued maintaining that house throughout the entire year. He's always been there, even when he wasn't in the main event. He made that mid-card just as relevant as the main event. His U.S. title reigns, he continued that open challenge that Cena started and did a great job with that. Just has a great feuds with Kevin Owens. The feuds with Jinder Mahal, they were entertaining, if nothing else, purely because AJ was getting Jinder over, so I give him credit for that.
That great match with Finn.
The great match with Finn Balor. He had that impromptu match where I had to fly back from South America at the last minute to do that on no warning. All that great stuff. The fun with the little fun with a little bit of fun with well, that was technically last year, so I won't count that. But
his great match with Shane McMahon.
Yeah, the Shane McMahon match, of course, that was really good. He had the
match of the pay-per-view.
Yep, match of the pay-per-view. He had the feud against. There was one other one. Who was it?
Yeah, if you think about it, he consistently has gotten the majority of match of the pay-per-views that he was involved in.
Yeah, and that's a good. Yeah, he feuded with Corbin over the title for a while. That too, helping get Corbin over, which helped. So just great feuds, everybody, putting guys over, getting them up there to that main event spot, and just just pushing himself to that next level to really get that over. On a related note, let's also not forget that AJ Styles also won the WWE Championship in what was the first time the WWE Championship has ever changed hands outside of North America, by the way. Strictly speaking, Antonio Inoki won it in Japan in '79, but WWE doesn't recognize that. So, and just all, and of course, champion versus champion against Brock. That was a hell of a match.
That was a decent match.
So just AJ just consistent across the board, championship wins, getting people over, great feuds, always entertaining, great matches. AJ Styles is still, for 2 years running, the superstar of the year.
You deserve it.
Yes, damn right.
Everyone we've mentioned has deserved it.
Yes, precisely. All right, well, there we have the Loggies, ladies and gentlemen.
Logo.
I put that. There we go. The log. This has been the Loggies. Get the thing back up. There we go. What did you think? I mean, the categories are out there. Let us know what you thought. Did you agree with our awards? Did you think other people deserved it more? Other matches, other promos, other anything? Let us know. Put it in the comments, and we'll respond to you. Check that out. Of course, as always, join us next Saturday for the usual news and other assorted shenanigans. John, thanks for coming in for the Loggies, even though you're sitting out this season of the Fantasy Log.
You're welcome.
And of course, Tiff and Jeff, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
I am James.
Yep.
I am James Phoenix, and we will see you going forward for another year of wrestling shenanigans. Let's see if 2018 can top 2017.
Can't get much worse.
Only hope.
There we go. Good night, everybody.